and welcome to my channel. Today we are going to work on cleaning out the freezer portion of the refrigerator. Weekly, I pretty much clean out the refrigerator portion because we do our grocery shopping weekly, so it just makes sense for me to clean it out, purge out any leftovers that are over a week old, kind of take a look at expiration dates and that type of thing. But the freezer has not seen my attention for quite some time. I opened the freezer the other day and we have an automatic ice maker in our freezer, and someone had pulled down the lid to the automatic ice maker, which we had just kept up. But when they pulled it down, lo and behold, there were debris on there and signs of mold, which you wouldn't think that mold could grow in your freezer, but it can. And what happens is when you bring items home from the grocery store, realize that there's dirt and debris on those items, and some of them we just turn around, because they're freezer products, we turn around and transfer directly to our freezer, which means that that dirt and debris from the grocery store is now in our freezer and is able to grow and multiply, because realize we're opening the freezer, so warm air is getting in there, which is enabling that to happen. So today we're going to work on cleaning out our freezer completely, or my freezer completely. You can join me with yours if you'd like to, and purging out the items that are expired and really grouping things so that we know exactly what we have, and we're not buying when we don't need to. Because what happens when you do that, if you don't know what you have in your freezer, you're gonna buy what you think you need, and then what you actually had in there that you could have used will go bad. So what's that mean? You're throwing away food that you spent money on that you never used. Just a waste of money. Just might as well throw the dollars right into the trash can. So today we're gonna work on cleaning out the freezer, grouping items together so that we know exactly what we have in there, creating sections so that they're easily shopped, if you will, and just getting it clean and crisp so we have a very clean interior and we know exactly what we have. So please join me while I do this. Okay, here we go. First, the purge. Okay, I'll buy frozen fruit so my daughter and I can do smoothies. This has been opened. I have no idea how long it's been in there. This was not a recent purchase. This was something that was purchased quite a long time ago. It's almost full. It's gonna be discarded because it's got freezer burn on it. So it's not something that you would want in your smoothie, obviously. So yeah, this is going. I found this in my freezer. Ladies, I just recently bought this because I thought I was out and that I needed it. I have a feeling I put it in my freezer because that's what my mom did to increase the longevity of the items, because this isn't a product that I would use daily, weekly, that type of thing. It's kind of a special occasion thing. So I put it in my freezer, but my point is, it got lost in there. I could have used this several times over, and it got buried in the black hole that has become my freezer. What a waste. Okay, it's completely emptied out, so now I'm going to clean it out. What I'm going to use to clean it out with, which I've shared with you previously on my spice rack, organizing my spice cabinet video, is vinegar. I'm going to be using just plain old-fashioned white vinegar, hot water, and a little bit of dish soap. I just recently purchased this. It smells wonderful. It's lemon verbena. Anyway, it smells great. So I'm going to be using that, warm water, and a clean sponge to clean it out thoroughly. There's quite a bit of debris in here. Again, you don't realize what's falling down into your freezer from the items that you're bringing in from, again, who washes off their stuff that they're bringing in from the grocery store? Who even thought about doing that? If it was in the freezer section, you take it from the freezer section and then you turn around and put it in your freezer. So I think going forward, I'm going to be wiping down my purchased items before I put them in my freezer. Just lesson learned on that one. But I'm going to bring you over very quickly so that you can see up close some of the debris that has collected in here. As you can see, leftover tater tot. I can't tell you when the last time it was that I purchased tater tots. They're actually not good for you because of all the hydrogenated oil in them. So I actually don't purchase that type of item anymore because I'm trying to bring healthier things into our eating habits here with my family. But, and you can see, I don't know if you can see that, the marks on the side. I don't even know what that is. That may be chocolate or something. I'm not sure. Then if you look in the door, you can see the debris that has collected in the door pockets. Look at that. So, yes, let's not ignore our freezers, ladies. Let's make sure that we're cleaning them thoroughly, because this is not a healthy situation. Okay. So I'm going to be starting the process of cleaning out with, again, the warm water, vinegar, and a little splash of dish soap. And then we will work on organizing the items, discarding the items that have expired, and creating a better system in here so that we can keep track. Okay, here we are, completely cleaned out. You can see, I'm gonna bring you in closer so that you can see. I'm gonna actually turn the camera around, give me a moment. There we are, completely cleaned out. So satisfying, nice and white and bright and clean. I took all the racks out and all the bins and have washed those again with the combination of hot water, white vinegar, and a little bit of dish soap. So I'm going to put those back in and work on the organization of the items so that I can see very clearly what we have, so that when we go grocery shopping, we are not wasting any money. Stay tuned. I'm done. I'm so pleased with it. It's funny how satisfying it is to clean things out and get it organized. You just feel like you've accomplished something. I've got it organized, so I'm gonna bring it around so that you can see what I actually did with this space. So here it is. You can see that I actually placed some bins in the freezer section that weren't there previously. These were actually Dollar Tree bins that I had purchased at another time that I thought, oh, this is gonna work perfectly. So again, it's Dollar Tree, so that's $1, $2, $3 that got spent on that, but not at this time. So this was actually a no-cost organization. I wasn't looking to spend any money at this point, just get it clean and organized for myself and my family. This was so very satisfying, as I stated previously. It just makes me feel good to get things organized and clean. I feel like I'm doing well for my family when I do this. So on the very bottom bin, I've got all the chocolates. So I know what I have, so I'm not going out and purchasing more chocolate should I wish to bake. Second level is all my meat products. They fit for the most part nicely and neatly in that bin. So what I'm going to do going forward is when that bin is empty, when that shelf is empty, we can turn around and purchase more meat. So that way we're not discarding meat because it's gotten old and shoved to the back and we didn't realize we had it. On this level here, you're going to see some cartons. This is actually what I'm going to consider the dessert rack. Obviously, we don't want the desserts so readily visible, because if they're readily visible, you have a tendency to reach for that before you reach for something of a more nutritious value. This level right here is the frozen vegetables. I was able to place them nicely and neatly in that bin so that I can keep stock of what I have. And again, I'm determined at this point that I'm not purchasing more till these bins are empty. That's going to give me the ability to save some money, because again, I'm not wasting money when I'm purchasing things that I don't need. This very top bin right here, this is all the frozen fruit that I had. I've actually bought fresh fruit and chopped it up and placed it in the freezer so that my daughter can have the smoothies that she so enjoys. So that top shelf, that bin right there, contains all the frozen fruit. Panning over to the door, those are, I take my lunch, or I try to take my lunch pretty much daily, so I have little freezer blocks, so I place those in the door. Then just some little miscellaneous items that don't need to be deep freed. My husband loves to make homemade chili, so he purchases that. Those are some walnuts. And then on the very bottom is, I make homemade spaghetti sauce, and I always make way too much, so instead of discarding it or letting it go bad in the refrigerator, I will freeze it so that we have it readily available if we want to put some pasta on or make some lasagna. It's readily available. That's easy to do. That right there, that is actually a ginger root. Someone turned me on to drinking ginger tea, so I purchased it and they said you can freeze it so that it lasts that much longer. That's in a little Tupperware bin. Anyway, I also wanted to show you the expiration date, because as you know, I've stated previously, when you don't know what you have, things go bad and it's a waste of money. So I'm gonna pan over so that you can see the items that I'm actually going to be discarding and some of the items that I've already discarded. Here we go. This is corn tortillas, homemade style, delicious corn tortillas. Look at the date on this. 2013. How long was this buried in my freezer? Really? What a waste. And the other were some wonton wraps, and you can see this. Best by, I think it says 2015. Yes, 2015. So we are now in 2018. So that tells you these are way past their expiration point. In addition, again, freezer burn just was everywhere. Freezer burn was everywhere. So I discarded these items also because it does no good to try to eat healthy if the items in your freezer and refrigerator are contaminated or contain freezer burn, or just not something that you would want to eat. Thank you all for joining me on this cleaning journey of cleaning out my freezer and organizing it. It's a wonderful feeling of accomplishment knowing that I've gotten that done. I feel like I'm taking good care of both my home and my family anytime I take on a cleaning and organizational project. I think it's important that we take pride in our homes, whether they're a 300 square foot studio apartment or a 4,200 square foot house. I think taking pride in our home gives us a personal feeling of accomplishment, and I think that that's important in our day-to-day lives. This is Dee Marie, wishing you all a blessed day and encouraging you all to bloom wherever you are planted. Thank you.